Easy on Human Rights. Team members: Raúl Alejandro Rodríguez Pérez and Luis Alberto Pizar Leiva. Introduction. First of all, we have to be clear about what human rights are and when they created. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a landmark document in the history of human rights, prepared by representatives of all regions of the world with different legal and cultural backgrounds. The declaration was proclaimed by the General Assembly of the United Nations in Paris on December 10, 1948, as a common ideal for all peoples and nations. The declaration establishes for the first time the fundamental human rights that must be protected throughout the world and has been translated into more than 500 languages. The great triumph of this first declaration is that it was accepted as universal and based on it. All kinds of new agreements have followed, such as the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, the European Social Charter, or the African Charter on Human and People Rights.
Next, we will publicize five of the universal rights. 1. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights and endowed as they are with reason and conscience. They must behave fraternally with each other. 2. We are equal regardless of our origin, ethnicity, color, sex, language, religion, political opinion, or any other condition. 3. Every individual has the right to life, freedom, and personal security. 4. No one shall be subjected to slavery or servitude. And 5. No one shall be subjected to torture or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Right says, we will focus on what our Magna Letter, the political constitution of the United Mexican States, which is the most important document in our country and where we can find our rights. Article 1. In the United Mexican States, all persons will enjoy the human rights recognized in this constitution and in the international treaties to which the Mexican state is a part, as well as guarantees for their protection, the exercise of which may not be restricted or suspended except in the cases and under the conditions what this Constitution establishes. Human rights standards will be interpreted in accordance with the Constitution and with international treaties on the subject, will favoring peoples with their protection. Article 2. The Mexican nation is unique and indivisible. The nation has multicultural composition originally based on its indigenous peoples that are those that descend from populations that lived in the current territory of the country at the beginning of colonization and that preserve their own social, economic, cultural and political institutions or part of them. The awareness of their indigenous identity must be a fundamental criterion in determining the provision on indigenous peoples apply.
Article 16. No one can be bothered in his person, family, domicile, papers, or possessions, except with virtue of written order from the competent authority, which establishes and motivates the legal cause of the producer in the trials and producers follow in the form of a trial in which orality is established as a rule. Conclusions. Considering that freedom, justice, and peace in the world are based on the recognition of the intrinsic dignity and the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family, that ignorance and disregard for human rights have led to acts of barbarism strokes to the conscience of humanity, of which has been proclaimed as the highest spirit of man. The advent of the world in which human beings freed from and misery enjoy freedom on speech and freedom